What's up guys? Today I've got a new project for you. Of course, last time we installed the carbon fiber side skirts and front bumper, and this time I got the hookup from my guys at Extreme Online Store, EOS. They hooked me up with this kit right here. I'm gonna convert these side scoops on this EOS to carbon fiber. Now they're not the full replacements, they're just the covers that go on it, but it makes it a whole lot easier of an install, but it's gonna look just the same. I already looked at it. Here, check this out. Carbon fiber weave lines up perfectly, so it's gonna match amazing. So here's everything that comes in the kit. You'll see it has 4 pieces for each side scoop, and you'll see how they go on here in just a second. First thing I do recommend, obviously, is wash the car pretty thoroughly. You don't want anything underneath this because we're gonna use 3M tape to connect everything to the existing side skirt. So wash the car very thoroughly. I also have another rag here that I got all the dust off of, but let's get started. So here's the 3M tape that comes with the kit. We're gonna cut it to fit on the back sides of these, and we're gonna put them on there, and then we're gonna see what it looks like when it's fully installed. Now, like I said, the first step is to wash the car very thoroughly. You don't want any dirt or anything to get underneath this 3M tape that you're sticking on. I also have another rag here that I'm just gonna do another dusting of everything. We don't want anything underneath. We don't want anything to not let that adhesive on the 3M tape connect very, very well. So first, let me show you how it looks. We're gonna take this piece right here and just kind of match it up right there, and you'll see it's going to just seamlessly sit on top of everything. It perfectly tucks around every corner. It's perfect, so you're not going to really see anything. And from a distance, I can kind of let it just sit there a little bit. From a distance there, you can't really tell that it's not carbon fiber. So that's really what it's going to look like. So we have a piece there, piece there, piece there, and then another little piece on the inside there. So let's get started. So first I'm going to take this 3M tape that comes with the kit, and I'm going to cut it just around the edges of each section there, lay it on there, take the backing off, and then we're just going to stick it on the car. Pretty simple. So let's get started. As you can see now, I've got the 3M tape wrapped all the way around the outside. So I'm just gonna now peel up the backing of this 3M tape and then simply put it on the car. All right, now I have all of the 3M tape backing off, and now it is ready to go on the car. Now first, I recommend opening the door. So that is because this lip comes around and sticks right there. If you try to do it with the door closed, you're kind of trying to jam it in there, which you don't want to do, because once this 3M tape sticks, it sticks. So I'd recommend opening that door to get around that corner there. And I also recommend doing it with 2 hands. So if I'm gonna put the camera down, I recommend you do the same. There you go, guys. That one is now on there. When you put it on, I recommend focusing on this side, getting it lined up correctly, and then taking the door side and kind of just jamming it in there to get that tape to stick. But you'll see it comes around every seam there, and it looks like it's actually a full carbon fiber piece, so it's pretty awesome. All right, now I've got the second piece. That's gonna go right there on top. And again, open the door because of this side right here. Wipe that down a little bit to make sure it is clean. Then we'll do the same thing. We're going to put it right there, and of course I'm going to again use 2 hands. All right, now we are getting to the somewhat difficult parts here. So these two were relatively large panels. A couple things you could do after really kind of messing around with these is you could either put the tape on the back of the panels like I did, or you could put some of the tape on the original panels of the blades and stick these on. Depending on how you have to do it, feel free to do it the best you can. On this piece though, considering how tight this is gonna fit right in there like that. So it'll set there so you can kind of see what it's gonna look like. So it'll look great. But look how tight that is on these tolerances. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna stretch a piece of the 3M tape along this edge and along the edge on the inside. I'm gonna stretch it as thin as possible, and then I'm gonna slide this on and kind of wiggle it to fit before I squeeze it and get it to set. Because otherwise I feel like if I put the tape on here and then try to put it on there, it's gonna start sticking before it actually gets to the position it needs to be in. So I'm gonna do it the opposite. I'm gonna put the tape on the original body panel first and then put this over it. Let's try it out. So this is what it looks like. I took this piece right here and I cut it, and it's actually a much shorter piece than what you see here, but what I did is I stretched it, tacked it up here, and then I stretched it as far as I could down there without it breaking. Doing so makes this much thinner. It's good because there's so little tolerance on this piece that I want to make the tape itself as thin as possible to not have any gap, you don't want this to stick out more than what this little bit is that the first piece I installed is. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. I also want to test the tolerance here. So I have the tape on both sides. You'll see it right there and right there. So I'm gonna put this in here and you'll see it should be just fine. Right up here, there's a little bit of a gap there. Really need to kind of play around with it to make sure that this gets tucked in there really good. So it sits as flush as possible, so that looks much better. And now here also, you don't want that to happen, right? So once you get the tape off, you're gonna have to make sure that this sets perfectly flush, and then come down here and really push this also flush and get that tape on there. So I'm gonna put a little bit of tape right here on this edge just to make sure I can really get it to stick once it flexes, and then we should be good to go. That's what it looks like here. Put a little bit of tape there and up here. Again, I stretched it really thin in those spots since the tolerances are so small. So this time, I might be able to do this with one hand. I'm gonna get that way up under that on the top first, and then slide it on. So again, make sure this is on there flush. There's no gap there. And then all the way down. Make sure there's no gap there. Oh, that one went on like a dream. Very nice, very, very nice. All right, perfect. Boom, look at that, guys. That looks amazing. All right, last step here is this piece. No, here is the last piece of the kit. If you wanted to, I think you could probably get away with not installing this. This goes right here. So if you didn't really care, you could probably get away with not installing that, but I'm gonna try it out. Now, I was playing with this before we started, and I think it's way easier to get this panel out first. You could probably just get your finger under it and pop it off. Boom, there you go. Got push pins there and there. And then once it's off, you can just use some of that tape to put it on there and then put it back. So that's what we're gonna do. Simple enough with this piece, just put a little tape on there, and then I'll put this over it and line it up perfectly, push it down, and then drop it right in there. This one's done. Just going to push it back into place here. And make sure 3 pins get popped back in, and there you go. All right, I got this side completely done now. You can see it looks amazing. Matches carbon fiber side skirts and splitter perfectly. Now, I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'll get it out in the sunlight and we can see the finished result. So I mentioned on the other side that you could lay down the tape on the panel first for the larger 2 pieces. And so I did it on this side as well, just to kind of show you that you could do that, just like I did on this side on the other side. And I actually think, it could be a little bit easier of a way to get it done because of the way this side is, and making sure that both this side match flush and this little point match flush. This could be an easier way to do it. Okay, this one went on perfect, so I did the same thing here. I got a thin strip here, all the way around, one underneath here, and a couple on there. As you can see, if I get this, slide it in, it'll go on there perfectly, and it'll cover up those as well. So let's take the tape off and put that on. Boom, perfect. Check this out, right there. Looks great. Now, this side. One more tip here before we wrap up. You'll notice I have a different type of tape right here, and that's because I ran out of the 3M tape. So the 3M tape that comes with the kit from EOS is exactly enough to do this. So if you're like me and did a little trial and error at the beginning, you might waste a little bit of tape. So recommend having maybe a second roll laying around, or maybe you want to go to Home Depot or something and get something like that before you get started. But otherwise, we should be good to go now. Got her out in the sunlight now, and you can really see that weave pop there on the side blade, and of course it matches the side skirt right there, and of course the front splitter over there. But man, look at that carbon fiber. It looks amazing. Again, Extreme online store. I'm going to put a link in the description below if you want to get it yourself. It simply sticks on. Very easy install. Matches the carbon fiber elsewhere on the car, and then hopefully something else for the backside. Believe it or not, when my wife was looking at the car earlier, she said, well, now you need to get some carbon fiber back here, and what about back here? And so, oh man, I mean, when the wife gives you permission to buy stuff, you got to get it, right? I think that's the rule. So spoiler, we know is coming soon, but maybe a diffuser now. I don't know, man, who knows. Thanks for joining me today in the install of those carbon fiber side scoops. We now have the carbon fiber side skirts, the carbon fiber splitter, hopefully soon a carbon fiber wing, and then, I don't know, maybe more carbon fiber. We have the diffuser, we have the mirror caps, we have other things where we might be able to get some carbon fiber to even add more to the car, or maybe some stuff on the inside, I don't know. Really, I think is classing up the look of the car overall. I already love the ceramic matrix gray, red interior, carbon flash accents and everything, but the carbon fiber I think is just kind of making it look even better to go along with just the performance of the car. Such an amazing car. I absolutely love this car, guys. Really, the only limitation is I just need more time to drive it. I wish I had more reasons to go take it out on the road and drive it. Anytime I do, I'm driving it and not any of the other cars that I have. So again, another huge shout out to Extreme Online Store EOS. I'm going to put a link in the description below if you want to get some of these carbon fiber side scoops, or if you want anything else. They have splitters, they have wings, they have all these other accessories, not just for Corvettes, for other cars as well. Great prices, so definitely I recommend checking them out and getting some carbon fiber from those guys. But until next time, guys, adios.